students, welcome to lecture number 27, where we will be continuing with module number 5 under subject indirect taxation. So as in this module, we know it is purely introduction to customs duty, and we have already seen the introduction, definition, circumstances, types of duty, exemption from customs duty. We are dealing with valuation under customs. So we have finished the theory part of valuation of imported goods. So just we will be today continuing with problems on valuation of imported goods. So before we move ahead to the problems, let us quickly revise what all aspects are needed in order to calculate the value of imported goods on which we have to levy the customs duty. So conversion of assessable value needs to be converted into Indian rupees. Now what exchange rate are you going to use? You're going to use the exchange rate as notified by CBIC, that is Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs. Okay, so this is just a revision. Next, rate of BCD. What is the rate of BCD that you're going to charge? Because rate keeps on changing. So which rate are you going to adopt? So the rate of the submission of bill of entry, or the rate of at the time of granting the inward for the granting the inward signal for the vessel. So whichever date is falling earlier, that date will be whatever rate is applicable on that date, BCD will be charged. So rate of duty at the time of submission of bill of entry, or rate of duty at the time of entry inwards granted to the vessel, whichever is later. Then how do we calculate the CIF? CIF is nothing but the assessable value. So first we calculate FAS, FOB. Okay, free on board is nothing but the ex-factory price, that is FAS plus loading into the ship. Okay, and plus export duty if any paid by the exporter. You get free on board. But under valuations, under customs in India, there are certain things that you need to add to FOB as per rule number 10. So though the free on board is FAS plus your loading charges plus your export duty, but for the valuation under customs, you need to add certain items under rule number 10. Okay, for example, it is like commission and brokerage, exception buying commission. You need to add packing cost, you need to add cost of engineering or sketches development undertaken outside India, royalties or license fee. Okay, value of subsequent resale if payable to foreign supplier, value of material supplied by the buyer free of cost. So when you add the items that are required to be added or included as per rule 10, you get FOB value as per customs. This is free on board value, students, but as per Customs Act in India, there is certain items that you need to add to the FOB, okay, in order to get the value as per customs. And what needs to be added is given under rule number 10. Next to this FOB, when you add freight and insurance, you get CIF. And this is nothing but assessable value on which you're going to charge BCD, that is basic customs duty. You're going to charge IGST, you're going to charge social and welfare charge. And depending upon the type of product, you will charge maybe safeguarding duty, protective duty, anti-dumping duty, depending on the product. So on assessable value, the duty will be levied. Okay. Next, freight charge is very important. First thing you have, if it is an air freight, this is just a revision. We have already covered it earlier. If it is a air freight, like if the goods are traveling through air, then yes, if it is traveling to air, then you have to compare two things: actual air freight or 20% on FOB, whichever is less, that has to be added to FOB in order to get CIF. Suppose if it is not air freight, if it is sea freight, and if actual sea freight is given, take the actual sea freight. If it is not given, freight is not given in the problem, then you can take 20% on FOB as freight charges. So just remember, if it is sea freight, take the actual sea freight. If it is air freight, you need to compare the actual and 20% on FOB, whichever is less you need to take. This I'm repeating because this usually falls in the problem. That is why a quick revision of these. Insurance charges, again, you need to compare given in problem, not given. If not given in the problem, you have to take 1.125% on FOB as your insurance charges. If it is given in the problem, then whatever insurance charges is given in the problem, you need to add it to the FOB in order to get CIF, where C stands for the FOB cost, I stands for insurance, and F stands for freight. Next, quickly we'll see rule number 10, what has to be added. Cost of services. I told you as per rule number 10, sub rule 1, commission and brokerage you need to add, exception buying commission, cost of containers, cost of packing. Packing can be either labor cost or material cost. Then goods and services that is supplied directly or indirectly by the buyer, either at free of cost or at reduced cost, but such supply should be related to the production or sale of the imported goods. Next, under C, we seen that royalties and license fee also has to be added. Under D, we have seen that any subsequent resale, proceeds of any subsequent resale, if it is directly or indirectly shared with the seller, it has to be added. And E point, all other payments actually made or to be made as a condition of sale. Okay, by the buyer to the seller as a condition of sale, if any payment is made, then it need to be added to the to the transaction value, that is to the FOB. Next, we seen already, we have covered this, that under rule 10 sub rule 2, if cost of transport is not given, you're going to take this 20% of FOB, and cost of insurance is not given, then you're going to take 1.125% of FOB. If FOB you cannot calculate in a chronological order, then you have to calculate it in the reverse manner. In reverse manner, how will you calculate FOB? CIF minus cost of transport minus cost of insurance, you will get FOB value. So this was a quick revision on all those aspects which are needed to be known while solving the problems on valuation of imported goods. So now let us move ahead to the problems. So in my previous lecture, I had completed problem number 1 and problem number 2. Now moving ahead to problem number 3. Is the screen visible to everyone? Yes, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. BSC and Company Limited have imported a machine from UK. Okay. From the following particulars furnished by them, arrive at the assessable value for the purpose of customs duty payable. Okay. Now, first, FOB cost of the machine is, now since it is UK, the currency in UK is in pounds. Okay, so FOB cost of the machine given is 10,000 UK pounds. So can you all tell me, students, should this be included in calculating the assessable value? Yes. Yes. Students, let us make an interactive session, because since you already know the theory, so just we can apply it in the problems. Instead of I explaining, it has already been explained, so it will be good if we all interact. So tell me, FOB cost of the machine. Should this FOB included in calculating your CIF? CIF is nothing but your assessable value. Should it be included? Yes, students?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Very good. So we have to include it. Next, freight is given by air. Students, pay attention. Freight is given by air. Just few minutes back, we have done the revision. Okay. See, the word local freight is not given. So when freight word is given, that means it is freight charges paid by air for getting the machine from UK to India. So this freight will be added to your FOB in order to get CIF. Don't take it as local freight and add it in your FAS. Okay, when freight is given by air, simply it means the freight is from UK to India to get the goods. Now by air, we just did revision sometime back that when it is through air, we need to see the actual freight charges or 20% of FOB, whichever is less should be taken as freight charges. Now, students, tell me, this freight by air, should it be added to calculate the assessable value? If yes, to what will you add this? Fair. Freight. To what will freight be added to? Yes, students?
Ma'am, in order to arrive CIF value, freight should be added to FOB, ma'am.
FOB or as per Customs Act. See, one we have seen is FOB. FOB is nothing but FAS plus that loading charges and plus export duty. That is FOB. But when we add rule number 10, after that we get FOB as per customs. So to that we have to add freight charges, as you rightly said. It is 3,000 UK pounds. Okay. Next, engineering and design charges paid to a firm in UK. 500 UK pounds. Can you all tell me, students, that should this be added to FOB? Is this covered under rule number 10? Is this engineering designing charges paid to a firm in UK covered under rule number 10? Yes, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this has to be added to FOB. Next, license fee it is covered under rule number 10 sub rule 1. Okay, see, when we revise here, goods or services supplied, no, it is not that, it is all other payments actually made or to be made as a condition of sale by the buyer to the seller or by the buyer to the third person to satisfy an obligation of the seller. So now here, engineering and design charges paid to a firm in UK. Now this is paid to a third person in UK, okay, in relation to the designing of this machine. So this has to be included as per rule number 10. Next, license fee relating to imported goods payable by a buyer as a condition of sale. Should this be added to FOB? Yes or no, students?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
students? Okay. Under which rule?
Under rule number
Rule number
10, ma'am.
Rule number 10, sub
Yes,
rule
ma'am.
1.
C.
Okay, next. Either because as a condition of sale, and license fee also, since our license fee also is given, then under C point or E point, because it is as a condition of sale. Next, materials and components supplied by seller free of cost. Materials and components supplied by the seller free of cost valued at 20,000. Should this be added, students? Yes?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Next, insurance paid to insurer. Insurance paid to insurer in India, 6,000 rupees. Should this be added? Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
it should be added.
Yes, ma'am.
Next, buying commission paid by the buyer to his agent in UK, that is 100 UK pounds. So should buying commission be added to the FOB as per rule 10?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, students?
Yes, ma'am. Buying commission should be added, ma'am.
Ma'am, no.
Okay, can someone tell me now, after seeing this slide, should buying commission be added?
No, ma'am. Except buying commission.
Exactly. So now I understood the reason why we have to exclude buying commission, because here commission, all the types of commission exception buying commission. Next, other particulars, interbank exchange rate as arrived by authorized dealer is the exchange rate is 72.50 per UK pound. Should this information be ignored or should it be considered? They're telling the exchange rate as per the ignored. Very good. Now the CBIC has notified for purpose of section 14 of the Customs Act 1944 that exchange rate of 70.25 per UK pound is to be considered. That is one UK pound is nothing but 70.25 rupees. Should this be considered for the conversion of your assessable value? Yes.
ma'am. It should be considered.
Okay. Next is importer paid 5,000 towards demurrage charges for the delay in clearing machine from the airport. Should this be considered? What? Just understand what is the meaning. Importer paid 5,000 towards demurrage charges for delay in clearing the machine from the airport. So should this be considered? The machine has reached the airport, but from airport to take the machine, the importer did some delay for which he was charged rupees 5,000. Now, should this 5,000 be considered, students?
No, ma'am.
Can you tell me the reason why? No?
Ma'am, the value should be considered before that goods get out from the clearing port, ma'am, by the clearing officer. Later, whatever
So this is
goods carry.
hmm. So this is for clearing the machine from the airport. So the goods have reached the airport because he's done delay, so he's been charged some amount which should not be considered because it is post importation charges. Okay. So let us, whatever we have discussed, let us put it in the form of solution. So the answer is statement showing computation of assessable value for the imported goods. Okay. Now, first we have taken the value in UK pounds. Okay. So let us see. FOB value we have taken as 10,000 because it is given 10,000 UK pounds. To that we have charged engineering and design charges, that is paid in UK, 500 UK pounds. Okay. To that we have added license fee, and license fee is already given 20% on FOB cost. So 20% on 10,000, because 10,000 is FOB cost, we got it as 2,000. So what is the total of all this? The total of all this is 12,500 UK pounds. Okay, next we have added materials. See students, pay attention here. Okay, it is very important. Now, this materials and components supplied by the seller free of cost is given in rupees 20,000. That comma, what you can see is nothing but is your rupees 20,000. Up to here, everything was in UK pounds. Up to here, everything was in UK pounds. We know that this material and components supplied by the seller also should be added to the FOB value. But are they same in the same currency? Half of the items that has to be added to FOB are in the UK pounds, and one item is in rupees. So you cannot add, different currency denomination in one. So first you added everything in UK pounds. You got the total of UK pounds, that is 12,500. Now what you do is convert this 12,500 into rupees. Okay. This 12,500 you converted into rupees by using the exchange rate as notified by CBIC, that is 70.25. So 12,500 into 70.25, you got value in rupees as 8,78,125. Then to that you're adding material supplied by the buyer free of cost, that is 20,000. Now you brought this FOB, okay, in UK pounds into rupees. You added this material supplied free of cost in rupees. Therefore, you got FOB value as per customs. Sorry, FOB value as per customs. You got it as 8,98,125. Okay. Now, did you all understand up to your students? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Why did I do this separately? Is it clear? If you'll directly add, no, after this license fee, if you could have directly added material supplied by the buyer freely 20,000, there would be a mismatch in currency. Half you're adding in UK pounds and half you're adding in rupees, which is not correct. So first you bring this UK pounds into rupees and then add the items that has to be added in rupees. Is that clear? Yes? Yes,
Yes,
students?
ma'am.
Now value as per customs, you got FOB value is 8,98,125. To this, two things you need to add in order to get your CIF. So your insurance, you can see in the question, insurance paid to the insurer in India is rupees 6,000. Okay, so obviously this air freight also should be in rupees. Now insurance you have taken as 6,000. Now air freight, what is the actual air freight given? 3,000 UK pounds. Okay, now 3,000 UK pounds is the air freight. So now 3,000 into, what is the exchange rate? 70.25. Students, your air freight, when the freight is happening through air, transportation is happening through air, you need to compare the actual freight with 20% of FOB. Whichever is less, you need to take it as your air freight. Now air freight actually given in the problem is 3,000 UK pounds. You convert this 3,000 into rupees and tell me what will be the value. Convert this 3,000 UK pounds into rupees and tell me what is going to be the value. So what you have to do, 3,000 rupees into 70.25, you get the air freight, actual air freight as 2,10,750. Okay, or 20% of FOB. So 20% of FOB is how much? FOB as per customs. Here, what is FOB as per customs? 8,98,125. So 8,98,125 into 20%. Which is less? Actual air freight is less or 20% of FOB is less? 20% of FOB is less. Therefore, you have taken the air freight as 1,79,625 rupees. To that, you have added insurance in rupees. Therefore, your CIF is nothing but your FOB value plus air freight plus insurance. Therefore, your assessable value is 10,83,750. Is this clear, students? Yes. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So if you see here, air freight is given yes. What you are going to add to the SSF to the FOB? Actual air freight. So actual air freight was 3,000 UK pounds. So 3,000 UK pounds into 70.25 is the exchange rate. So here it was 2,10,750. That was the actual air freight, or 20% on FOB, which was 1,79,625. So whichever is less. 2,10,750 is less or 1,79,625 is less. So 1,79,625 was less. Therefore, we took that value and as freight and added to the FOB. Is this clear, everyone? Yes. Yes, students.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it okay? Now, simple. I'll just tell you. Suppose if I alter this, instead of air, if I write ship, okay, or vessel, can you all tell me what freight I need to take?
Ma'am, if it is freight value is given, so actual freight value, or if it is not given, then 20% of FOB we should consider.
Okay, so just tell me, if it is a ship and it is given 3,000 UK pounds, what is the value I would have taken here?
Ma'am, 2,10,750 only.
Very good. Okay, so this is clear to you all. Now let us move ahead to the problem number 4. Okay. Compute the duty payable under Customs 1962 for an imported equipment based on the following information. Assessable value of the imported equipment is US dollar 10,100. Okay. Now, assessable value is directly given, students. Okay. You are just telling us to compute the duty payable. Means what is the taxes payable. Now, date of bill of entry, that was on 25th April 2018. Basic customs duty on this day was 12%. And the exchange rate notified by the CBIC and customs was 1 rupee is equals to 65 sorry, $1 is equals to 65 rupees. Now, date of entry inward, okay, that happened on 21st April 2018. The basic custom duty on this date was 16%, and the exchange rate notified by Central Board of Excise and Customs $1 is 60 rupees. So first we'll just discuss this one. So can you all tell me what is the rate of custom duty that I'm going to take? See, bill of entry date was 25th April and entry inward date is 21st April. The rate at the time of bill of entry is 12%. The rate at the time of entry inward is 16%. So what is the rate I'm going to charge in respect of basic customs duty? 12% or 16%? Yes, student.
12%.
Okay, why? Because which rate is to be applicable? Whichever is later.
Later.
Okay. Okay. Now, what is the exchange rate I'm going to consider? Am I going to consider 65 or 60? So again, students, whichever is later, when it is bill of entry, you have to consider the exchange rate as 1 rupee is equal, $1 is equals to 65 rupees, because the date of bill of entry is the later date, and at later date the Central Board of CBIC is considering the exchange rate to be $1 is 65 rupees. Therefore you have to consider it as notified by the CBIC the latest exchange rate, that is whichever is later. Therefore we'll consider it as 65. Next, IGST under Section 3, subsection 7 of Customs Tariff Act 1975 is 12%. Social welfare charge is given as 10%. They're telling make suitable assumptions where required and show the relevant working and round off your answer to the nearest rupee. So suppose if it is coming in decimal point, just round it off to the nearest rupee. So now we have to compute the duty payable. We have already discussed, we have to just put it in the form of solution. So answer statement showing computation of assessable value for imported goods. Now, AV is nothing but your assessable value, which is directly given as 10,100 US dollars. Now, students, when we are calculating the basic custom duty or when we are calculating the social welfare charge or IGST, all the customs duty, we have to always charge on assessable value which is converted into rupees. You cannot collect taxes in the form of dollars. So always the assessable value needs to be converted first, and then you need to charge the customs duty. Remember, customs duty you cannot charge in a currency of a foreign country. You are going, because customs duty act is of India, so you need to levy the duties, okay, on rupees. So first thing you need to do is you convert this assessable value into rupees. So how will you convert? If the assessable value is 10,100, you're going to convert into rupees by using the exchange rate, which is 65. So 10,100 into 65 is giving you 6,56,500. Now, to this assessable value, you're going to add the basic customs duty. Now, basic customs duty, you know which rate to take, whichever is later. So 12% on 6,56,500, you got it as 78,780. Now to this you need to add social welfare charge. So social welfare charge surcharge is nothing but 10% of BCD. Okay, so surcharge, as you know, is a tax on tax, students. So always social welfare surcharge will be added on your BCD only, will be calculated on your BCD only, because surcharge, you'll know the meaning of surcharge, it is a tax on tax. You will never calculate social welfare surcharge on assessable value. So this social welfare surcharge 10% will be added on your BCD. So therefore 78,780 into 10% will give you 7,878. So now, what is your total of BCD and social welfare charge? The complete and your assessable value. What is the total coming up to? It is coming up to 7,43,158. Okay, so the total of your assessable value, BCD and social welfare charge is coming up to 7,43,158. Then you need to add your IGST, which is given at the rate of 12%. Now, IGST will always be calculated on your assessable value plus your BCD plus your social welfare charge. Remember, BCD is calculated on assessable value, social welfare charge is calculated on BCD, IGST is calculated on assessable value plus BCD and plus social welfare charge. So 12% on 7,43,158 will give you 89,179 as your IGST. So what is your value of imported goods? Total how much the importer needs to pay? He needs to pay 7,43,158 plus this IGST of 89,179. So total value of imported goods is nothing but 8,32,337. Is this clear, students? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
It is very, again, I'm repeating, very important. BCD is calculated on assessable value, social welfare surcharge is calculated on BCD, IGST is calculated on assessable value plus BCD plus social welfare charge. Now, can anyone tell me what is the total customs duty that is payable by the name of the importer is not given? What is the total custom charges that is payable by the importer? Only duty, taxes I'm talking about, not the cost of the goods and all that. So can someone tell me what is the total, or how will I calculate the total customs duty that is payable by the importer? Yes. Looking at this solution, can someone tell me what is the total taxes that is paid by the importer? Yes. Yes, students. It is simple, no, students. BCD is a tax, so you take this value. Social welfare surcharge also is a tax, so you to that you add this value. IGST is also a tax which is paid by the importer, therefore you consider this value. Is there any other tax paid? No, this is not a
75,837.
correct. How did you derive at this particular figure? You added all the duties that, or all the taxes that is paid by the importer. That is the total customs duty payable, because in the question they are asking compute the duty payable under Customs Act. So all this is under Customs Act.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
ma'am, is the surcharge is fixed for every transaction or is it variable, ma'am? Social welfare surcharge.
No, I didn't get your question. Could you just repeat?
Yes, ma'am. Social welfare charges is 10%. Is it fixed or is it variable on depending upon the
It
goods or
it is
transaction?
fixed. Social surcharge is fixed, but in the problem, if they give you maybe it is 1%, 5%, whatever is given in the problem, you consider that. Otherwise, you can consider it as 10%.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Next. Okay. Now, either you can add up all the taxes and get the customs duty, or the very simplest method is from the total value of imported goods, you minus the assessable value, you will get the customs duty payable. Either add all the taxes, you'll get the same answer, or shortcut is from the total value of imported goods, if you minus the assessable value, the remaining will be nothing but your customs duty payable. Is that clear? Yes, students.
Yes.
So, okay, can you all tell me on what is BCD calculated?
Ma'am, on the accessible value.
Accessible value.
On what is IGST calculated?
on accessible value plus BCD and plus social welfare charge.
And on what social welfare surcharge is calculated?
On BCD,
And
ma'am.
BCD, ma'am.
Okay, very good. Now let us move ahead. Now, compute the accessible value and customs duty payable from the following information. Okay. Now, FOB value of machine is 8,000 UK pounds. Now, you all have to go on telling me the solution. So, tell me FOB value of machine 8,000 UK pounds. What are you going to do with this? Yes. Is it to be considered?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am, it is to be considered.
Okay. Freight paid through air 2000 UK 2500 UK pounds. What is to be done? Quickly, students.
It should be added, ma'am.
To FOB as per customs. But tell me, should I add 2500 UK pounds?
No, ma'am.
Then
2,500 we have
hmm?
2,500 we have to convert it to Indian rupees. That cost
Hmm.
or 20% of FOB value, whichever is less, we have to take.
Very good. Design and development charges paid in UK. What should be done?
Ma'am, should be added to FOB value.
Okay. Next, commission payable to local agents at 2% of FOB in Indian rupees. What it should be? What should we do? What should we do with this particular information?
Ma'am, should be added to FOB value.
Ma'am,
Yes.
commission should be added to FOB.
Very good. Now, date of bill of entry, the rate is 12% and exchange rate as notified by CBEC is 68 per pound, UK pound. And here, date of entry inward, the rate is 18%, notified by exchange rate notified by CBIC is 70 per UK pound. Now, which rate should I consider and which exchange rate do I need to consider? Can you all tell me quickly?
Ma'am, date of bill of entry and
Hmm.
68 per UK pound exchange value.
Exchange rate which I need to consider?
Ma'am,
Which
60
is on
per
24/10/2017, ma'am.
Correct. IGST payable is 18%, which is given. This IGST, on what am I going to calculate this IGST?
Accessible value plus uh,
Accessible value, BCD plus your
BCD plus
social
social
welfare
welfare
surcharge.
charges, ma'am.
Next, insurance charges actually paid, but details are not available. What are you going to do?
Ma'am, 20% of FOB.
ma'am
I repeat,
1.125%.
yes,
Yes, yes, ma'am.
1.125% of FOB. Okay, 20% is only in case of freight. When it is insurance, it is 1.125% on FOB. Okay, so we whatever information you have given, we'll just put it in the form of solution. So statement showing computation of accessible value for imported goods. Okay, quickly, first we are going to take it in UK pounds because the information is given in UK pounds. So FOB value is 8,000 UK pounds. Add design and development. This is already explained by you students to me that it needs to be added. So 500 UK pounds. Local this commission paid to local agent, it is given 2% of FOB. So 2% on 8,000 is 160. Later we can convert it. Do either wise, the answer will be the same, students. So 2% on FOB is given. So 2% of 8,000, which is given 160 UK pounds. Now this is nothing but 8,660. What we are getting UK pounds is FOB value as per customs, because whatever we had to add, we added. FOB value which is not as per customs is FAS plus your loading plus your export duty. To this FOB, when you add all expenses that you need to add as per rule number 10, you get FOB value as per customs. Now next, add air freight. Air freight, what you have added? 20% of FOB value as per custom. So 20% of 8,660. Why have we taken this? Because if you compare the actual air freight, that is 2,500 into 68 rupees, or 8,660 into 20%, whichever is less, you have considered. Next, add insurance. Insurance you have considered 8,660 into, since insurance details are not known, so you are going to take it as 1.125% of FOB value. Which FOB value? FOB as per customs. So which you got 8,660. So 8,660 into 1.125%, you got it as 67.425. So your total CIF value is come up to 10,480 10,489.425, which is in UK pounds. Therefore, we have to convert this assessable value into Indian rupees. And as Padmaja and Yashaswini has rightly told, that the exchange rate we have to take as per 24/10/2017, which is 68 per UK pound. So we have converted this UK pounds of 10,498.89 into 68. So we got the value in Indian rupees as 7,13,281. Okay. Now, what is the next step? Next step is calculating the duty payable. So assessable value is given as 7,13,281. To that we are going to add BCD. BCD, what is the rate of BCD we are going to take is 12%. Why? Whichever date is later. So BCD is always calculated on assessable value. Therefore, 7,13,281 into 12%, which we got as 85,593. To that, we are going to add social welfare surcharge. As Padmaja had already asked me in the previous problem, that what should be the percentage? Percentage should be 10%. Otherwise, generally, always it is 10%. If any information is provided in the problem that social welfare surcharge is exempted or the rate is deferred, then you consider as per problem. Otherwise, always take it as 10%. So we have taken 10% of BCD. We got it as 8,559. So the balance is, when you add up all this, add up assessable value, add up BCD, add up social welfare charge, you get it as 8,07,434. Now you're going to calculate IGST. IGST is given already, the rate will be given in problem 18%, and IGST is calculated on assessable value plus your BCD plus your social welfare charge. So when you are calculating 18% on this total 8,07,434, you get your IGST as 1,45,338. So what is the total cost of imported goods or landed value? It is any name you can give. So what is the total? You add up the assessable value plus your total customs duty, you get your total value of your imported goods, that is 9,52,772.23. So can anyone tell me what are the two ways of calculating total customs duty? Yes, students.
Ma'am, we
What
can
is it?
add BCD, social welfare charge and IGST. Otherwise, we can deduct the assessable value from total value.
You deduct the total imported cost with the assessable value in order to get the total customs duty. So that is nothing but 2,39,491.23. And when you round it off, it becomes 2,39,491. So is this problem clear to everyone? Yes, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we go back to the slide. Today we have seen certain problems on valuation of imported goods. Okay, so we are done for the session for today. Thank you so much, students.